Trying to predict the next economic downturn with traditional models, that's like getting a perfect weather report while completely missing that a hurricane is forming offshore. These models can track individual data points just fine, but they're blind to the deeper structural shifts that actually cause recessions. I'm Roger Nash, and today I'm breaking down a new kind of economic radar, one that can see downturns coming a full year in advance.
You know, in today's economy, things are just incredibly volatile, right? Trying to figure out what's coming next, especially the next downturn, can feel like you're trying to navigate a huge storm without a map, without a compass. The old tools we've relied on, they're really starting to struggle. And the stakes? Well, they've never been higher. So today, we're going to look at a new kind of economic radar, a system that's built to see through the noise, to see through that storm, and really identify what's waiting for us on the horizon.
So, let's just ask the big question right up front. Are the models we've been leaning on for decades, are they fundamentally broken? A lot of people are starting to think so. And the reason why is actually pretty simple.
And this is really the key. Traditional models are actually great at tracking individual things, like unemployment numbers or inflation data. But where they fall short is seeing the bigger picture. They completely miss the deep structural shifts in how the entire economic system is operating. It's like they can tell you today's weather perfectly, but they have no idea the entire climate is changing around them.
So to fix this, we can't just make a few small adjustments to the old ways of doing things. That's not going to cut it. We need a genuine paradigm shift, a totally new approach that's designed from the ground up to understand the entire climate of our complex, modern economy. So what does that look like? Well, imagine a system that doesn't just look at the road a few feet in front of you. Instead, think of it like a long-range economic radar, constantly scanning the horizon, looking for storms long before they even begin to form. That's the whole idea behind this next-gen platform. Okay, so how does this radar actually work? It operates on two different but totally interconnected layers of analysis. It's all about understanding both the immediate momentum of the economy and the underlying regime that it's operating in. On one side, you have what's called this surface scan. This layer is all about momentum, tracking the speed and direction of key economic data in real time. It's the answer to the question, what's happening right now? But then, on the other side, and this is so important, you have the climate analysis. This is the layer that identifies the fundamental economic weather system we're in. It provides that all-important context. Now, what's really fascinating here is how this momentum layer works. It focuses on the rate of change. See, it's not just about whether housing starts are low or high, it's about how fast they're falling or rising. That acceleration or deceleration is often a much, much earlier warning sign than the headline number itself. And this is where you can see how this multi-layered view really comes to life. The system is looking way out into the future, tracking these long lead indicators like housing, which can signal a turn 18, even 36 months in advance. Then, it layers on the midterm signals like wage growth. And finally, it brings in the short-term stuff, like weekly jobless claims, for a real-time pulse check. It's like having a telescope, a pair of binoculars, and a magnifying glass all working at the same time. Okay, now for that second layer, that climate analysis. This model figures out which of four distinct economic regimes we're in. For instance, is the central bank firmly in control, using interest rates to steer the ship, or has government spending taken over as the main driver? And crucially, it can spot a really dangerous regime, like a fiscal stagflation crisis. That's when the government is spending like crazy while the central bank is slamming on the brakes. Those policies are working against each other, and that's the kind of vital context that so many other models just completely miss. Now, we've got these two incredibly powerful layers, but what's the glue that holds it all together? And maybe more importantly, what makes the entire system get smarter over time? Well, that's where the AI brain comes in, an amazing system called Alpha Evolve. Now, Alpha Evolve isn't just your standard machine learning. It's something else entirely. It's what's called algorithmic discovery. This is an AI that is constantly experimenting with its own programming, searching for new economic signals, finding better ways to interpret data. It is literally rewriting its own code to become more and more accurate. And the process it uses is this really elegant but relentless loop of improvement. First, an AI, something like Gemini, generates a new idea, a new piece of code, a new way to look at the data. Second, that new idea is put through the ringer. It's tested against decades of economic history to see if it actually works. And finally, if the new code is a winner, it gets integrated into the system. and the entire platform evolves. It is constantly learning from the past to get better at predicting the future. Of course, having a powerful signal is one thing, but it's pretty useless if you don't know what to do with it, right? So the final piece of this puzzle is turning all of this complex data into clear, actionable strategy.
And that really gets to the heart of the whole thing. The goal isn't just to spit out a probability number. It's to deliver something called regime awareness, which is just a deep, intuitive understanding of the economic environment you are actually operating in so you can make much smarter decisions.
So for instance, by knowing what regime is likely coming, the system can give you strategic guidance, like highlighting which sectors have historically held up the best during a downturn. It's no surprise, for example, that consumer staples and utilities are usually pretty resilient. I mean, think about it. No matter what the economy is doing, people still need to buy food and keep the lights on.
And all of this intelligence gets distilled into a really clean, intuitive dashboard. The point is not to force leaders to become PhD economists. Instead, it translates all these complex probabilities into clear alerts and straightforward guidance, helping them see the risks and the opportunities that are coming down the pike.
So what's the bottom line? What's the result of this whole system? We're talking about a predictive accuracy of over 90% at predicting downturns full 12 months in advance. That is a huge leap forward. That gives leaders and investors crucial time, a whole year, to prepare for major shifts in the economy.
So all of this leaves us with one final thought. In a world that's defined by faster change and more complexity than ever before, the real question isn't whether we can have a better economic radar. The question is, can we really afford to navigate the future without one?
The data is clear. Rising debt levels, a looming refinancing cliff, and the growing risk of fiscal stagflation are all converging. The question isn't whether a major downturn is coming. It's whether you'll see it in time to prepare. I've put together a full, rich playbook breaking down this forecasting system and what the signals are telling us right now. There's more information about this at our EscherAI.com website, and it will be available in our school community in the startup section. Links are in the description. The time to build your economic radar is before the storm hits.